sort of cute, unless you want it pretty.
Okay, so,
There's a name cute.
so are there any questions?
There was.
Put your hand up.
Yes.
Where'd you learn to dance like that?
Where did I dance like that? It's the son of a misspent youth. Actually, while I wasn't dancing, I trod on a nail or something. I was trying to get it out of my foot. I'm such a funny guy.
Cracks me up.
Any more questions? Yeah.
What's the first really cool thing you bought when you started making money?
First really cool thing we bought was start making money.
I haven't started making
Sure.
First really cool thing.
Really cool thing?
Well,
I spent, this is before Forever Night, but when I started making some money for me, which was money, I bought a sculpture by Yoko Ono at an auction. Oh, she's this woman that was involved with John Lennon.
Name tag?
Yeah. Before! Just, in between Cynthia and me. So that was it. It's called The Smile, and it's a box that you can, a bronze box you look into, and there's a little mirror on the line. Isn't it? It's nice. That's right.
gentlemen,
Good attention, John.
I got a guitar.
what kind?
A Martin acoustic. And then like another one. And then another one. I've got about 12 guitars. Not one of my guitar.
Sure, I got 10 bucks.
I bought a car.
What kind of car?
What kind of? It was a Ford Probe.
Why would you want to buy a car that sounds like, a surgical instrument? Are you too bored?
It was red. It was this big red.
Red Pro.
Red car. I only used to call it Ford Dick.
I got a car called the Stirrups.
It's worse than trying to drive a car. All right, it's way worse than a car.
Yeah.
Next question.
Hello?
You can use the microphone. Okay.
For you, thank you for coming to Maryland.
Oh, that's for us to thank us for coming to Maryland.
He gets 3 roses.
Share, come on.
Cher's not here.
Sunny. Thank you very much.
Question, I don't know if there's anyone, is there anyone in this grouping, and I know it was yesterday, that went to see Swooning Planet? I'm trying to get together with you. Could you meet me after? Is there anyone left who's not here that's still here? So just meet me here afterwards, okay?
Congratulations.
And then you can run into the other people that are here who aren't here.
Congratulations, Natsuko, you just made the quote list.
Again, what was my last quote? Was, who are you people?
Any other questions? Maybe about Forever Night?
Not here.
Yes. Hi, good to see you.
Hi.
Yes. Are we going to get to see the blooper reel today?
I have it too.
You have it too.
There's a doctor here. So
Just ask, because apparently we're having difficulty finding a screen.
It's a screen there.
You guys like detectives.
Oh, we watch a detective show. What can you say?
Maybe we'll say,
Showing you the highlighter reel.
Sorry?
They're supposed to. They said
Oh,
that
they're showing it with the Highland.
A lot of people are here.
A lot of people. There's a lot of people leaving before then.
Maybe before that, maybe we use our pull with the con committee. Although I don't really have met anybody from the con committee. Is there any from the con committee? Oh, they're all like having breakfast now.
Oh, yeah, the Forever Night Actors are doing a Q&A. That's easy to eat.
You're gonna find out.
She's gonna go.
I think we have a question in the middle of the room.
Okay, middle of the room.
It's not great. Since we're sort of short on show-related
Hey,
questions.
who you calling short?
Myself. Since we're sort of short on show-related questions, we're going to have to go on that topic. Oh, thank you. Nigel, about 3 years ago, for one day, you worked with an actress named Claire Rankin, who played Fleur.
Claire, yes.
Can you tell us anything about working with her and what you think of the premise of the, not the present day, but the backstory in the Madonna of Claude Fleur?
Well, Claire's just gorgeous, this girl. She really is. You were bugs in these roses? No, Claire was my first. The only time I ever got to neck with a girl. Biting old men's necks.
Oh, that's not the only time.
Claire's great. I think she moved down to LA. She's down in LA now, trying to hand down there. She's a really, really sweet kid. It was great fun. We had a date afterwards.
Whoa.
But nothing.
I had a fig afterwards.
Go figure.
I love when he loves him back.
So, I like the backstory. I thought. So I can. And hey, look at the stuff.
She's nodding. That's what
Roses
it's
and
like.
roses. Thank you. Next.
We're not seeing.
Yeah.
if you were an actor, what would you do?
If I wasn't an actor, what would I do? What would I want to do, or what would I have to do?
Community theater.
Sorry?
Either or.
Either or. Well, I'm a qualified teacher, so I can mainly teach.
And what? Teach what?
Teach what? Theater. And history. I'm a history teacher.
Oh, me.
Qualified history teacher, specialized in computer theory. And Renaissance theater.
Yeah, no one likes American.
John, what were you?
Astronaut. I'm in the space program, because I'm sort of in it now. I'm in the space program.
Now you know I want something to fly.
No, I'd definitely be up there with the space shuttle. I'm in here right now, trying to go, what the hell am I doing? So you're going to the bathroom there? It's starting to leak. I don't like Russians anyway. We make a lot of friends. I'd probably be in the space program. Ellie?
I'd probably like to go back to school and cook, maybe. Be a cook. I don't know why. Food, go to France and study at
Be a
French
chef.
cooking school.
Last question.
That's probably.
What's the worst country in the world for cooking? Oh, England.
I was born and raised in England. I didn't realize cauliflower was a solid vegetable. It was terrible. My mom used to reduce it to sludge. So white sludge with baby lumps in it. That mushy peas.
Actually,
God, the jelly eels. Have you ever had jelly eels?
No.
They catch eels.
Oh, yeah.
They cut them up and cook them, and they cook them in this jelly. And then there's meat pie and chips with eel liquor, which is green. Vegemite. No, Marmite. Marmite is it's great. I love it on toast. Marmite. It's shite.
crazy. What's a Marmite? Yeah, I had it almost Ralph. I'm telling you, Marmite. I mean, it's like eating linoleum with linoleum. I mean, has anybody heard Marmite?
I don't like vegetables.
Yeah, cheese. Basically, it's cheese.
And like these people will go to war over it. Hey, I like my Marmite. Get off the train. But I'm in the moors. Oh, you'll enjoy the moors. Have lots of Marmite.
Terrible cooking there, terrible. When I was a kid, I knew two sorts of meat. There was meat and there was chicken. And the only reason I knew that it was chicken was different is that it was white. Everything was gray.
Everything was white even then.
Just gray. It was terrible. Overcooked leather.
Leather.
Awful.
Hello, Leather. She's the mic.
She's the mic.
It's 3 feet away, for God's sake.
That's 3 feet.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. And then you... Come on, just get up.
Nigel, when and where did you do the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, well, we did. It's not the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the movie. It's the Rocky Horror Show, which is the stage version. Yeah, I did. We did that in Italy. We did a tour of Italy for 3 months in 1989. No. What was that? 1983. 1984. I played Riff Raff. And had a great fun. I mean, it was like...
I can see it.
It was as near being a rock star as I'll ever be.
Yeah.
We opened in Milan, and on the opening night, the audience, after we finished, the audience invaded the stage. So we thought, okay, we'll go to the dressing rooms and get away from these people. So we ran upstairs to the dressing rooms, and the audience invaded the dressing rooms. All these crazy Italians going, hey, incredible. So it was great. It was really, really
Oh, all Mediterraneans are crazy, right?
yeah, absolutely. Especially the Greeks. Jeez.
We don't eat Marmite.
Yeah. Marmite keeps you sane. And mine. Yes. What's the question?
I was going to ask you to take your own food to go home now.
Take my own what? My own food? Oh, so I don't know.
I love that coat.
Next question.
Get caught with Marmite in Greece, you get executed.
Excuse me, I teach high school and I'm not used to people actually listening to me. I teach high school.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Like a teacher.
Teach English? You teach high school?
Yes,
Does anyone ever listen to me?
The English cooking bit, it wasn't on. It didn't run out. Like,
What's
that
your
1
name?
minute.
So now answer the question.
Ask the question.
Good catch.
I don't know. Christopher Lee, I think.
This is good.
Yeah, I love Christopher Lee as Dracula. You know, his old vampire movies. I think it was great. And if anyone influenced the character, it was him. But then, I mean, then it sort of took on a life of its own, like some awful creature. And changed and developed. And I don't know where the radio persona came from. No idea.
well, thank you for coming to be here.
Well, thank you. Can you play Gillian? Gillian?
Get Gillian in here.
God, damn, she directed one of those great stuff. Next question. Yes. Hey, pay attention. I don't teach high school. Listen to me.
Yeah. All right. Katie, whatever.
Same number.
RV, go ahead.
I just wanted to say you guys are really fun. I'm glad you're here. And Nigel, can you do riff raff for us?
Can I do riff?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Let's do the time all again.
John, you can be the dancer.
come by the director. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be Shoot him up, spin him up. Well, I never had any blood. You did, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was it?
They use Ribena, undiluted Ribena. Ribena.
You ever teach myself?
What? Well, which is a blackcurrant cordial, which should be diluted with water. And when it's not, you drink it, you can feel your teeth rotting. And then the other stuff that we used a lot was just the classic sort of stage blood, which is actually mint flavor. So you can drink it and chew someone's neck and it'll still be fresh.
Oh, I ate, they made me souvlaki one day, and I started really eating them, and it was awful. I mean, I love the stuff. I did a food commercial once in Chicago where, they got this tray, and it was a McDonald's commercial, in 1943, I think. The war was still on, so they did a baby man. And they said, oh, just spit out the burger here. And I went, are you kidding? I'm going to eat this, This is 9 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. I'm like,
That's the worst thing about doing commercials with food is they give you a spit bug and it's just so gross. It makes you want to throw up.
he wants to leave. He doesn't want to get
Yeah,
this
it
stuff.
I'm making room for the next question.
Oh.
I have a trivia question, and I don't know if anyone can answer it. Captain Cohen only ate one kind of article of food in the entire season that I've seen.
Coffee.
Coffee?
Yeah!
Lots of coffee.
We know everything.
Just episode that I did, how do I take my coffee?
Yeah.
Decaf. That's killer instinct.
Where did we get the coffee from?
Take bread pepper.
We got it from Buckstars.
That's right. Starbucks backwards.
The script said, I'm going to go to that coffee place. And I said to the producer, I said, nobody says I'm going to go to that coffee place. And anybody here who's a writer knows it's better to be specific than to be, I'm going to go out to that movie. So that movie, we can talk about movies. We want to go see Star Wars or whatever the movie is. So I said Buckstars, and I went, ooh, we're going to have to run this by the legal department.
Oliver and I still call the Buckstars whenever we go anywhere.
Do you know there was actually a place on Queen Street East called Big John's Souvlaki House?
That's what's going to show up in the war, Al.
It's going to show up in the war.
Major consumer.
I think I was always last one.
It's the go with the wall.
Is Gillian Horvath around by the
She
ship?
went up in She's having breakfast. She went that way.
Then it
You can't eat in the restaurant.
Yes, hello.
You guys, why don't you set up the screen while we're waiting? Come on.
We'll make sure.
The blue one was so short. Come on.
Everything I said.
They're showing it downstairs.
We'll set it up.
I know, but we want to see it. Let's go.
Some friends and I were watching an episode of Kung Fu, and we could have sworn we saw you wearing a slinky right out sitting at the saloon.
Well,
Were you ever on Kung Fu?
I have never been on Kung Fu. And we were talking about this morning, as Greg says, that I am often mistaken for so many people. I can't tell you the number of times I've been congratulated for my work on the Joe Light problem. And I always say thank you. As far as the Kung Fu thing goes, it's funny. I've never done an episode. I've never tried to go on that show. You just see my by this time. John decided or something.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much. All right. This question is for, I guess basically Nigel. On the last season, sorry, John. I love you.
Don't worry, let's do it anyway. Well, the first half of the last season was very much under the influence of the demands of the USA Network in terms of changing the demographic of the whole show. So they wanted to attract a younger audience, which is why they did some of the recasting. And it clearly didn't work. It just didn't work. And in the end, it was Gare, to his credit, who got on the phone to Jim. And this was when we were shooting episode 9 or something, 8 or 9. And he was very angry. He said to Jim, he said, look, if you want to kill the show, but don't do it by a slow death. Just, let's do the show as it was in years 1 and years 2, and then we'll just end it at the end of the season. So from then on, the standard of the episodes picked up, and we stopped concentrating on the brat pack of the show, and started concentrating on the characters that had been there from the beginning.
And if you're going to kill something, put a, don't put a pork chop if it's hard. Steak.
It's always worked. Is that a meat joke? Meat is coming. Yeah, they did. But one of the great things for us about Jim and about the producers was that they did really keep an eye on him. 336. 336, just one John Patrick. The producers kept it arm's length a lot. We never, you go and work on stuff like Nikita and FX and things like that, and there are God knows how many producers on set all the time. They're up from LA and they're just getting in the way. That never happened with our show. They let us get on with it, which was great. It was made it much easier. So, once it was obvious that nothing was going to happen after the third year, which was obviously clear to the people in Los Angeles about halfway through, then things started to pick up. Because we said, the hell with us, we don't need to make them happen anymore. They're already giving up on us. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My question is for the man in the middle.
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you base Spanky on, or was I on you?
It's great when even the questions are
Defense Secretary Melvin Laird was like,
It's like somebody should ask now.
or John Mitchell, one of the Watergate conspirators.
I put some money in the ring on Sky.
Skanky is an amalgam of a lot of guys that, I know.
I was just telling somebody last night.
Somebody came up to me after both this man was in the room with Jay the other day and said, you played a really good dumb guy. The thing about Skanky was it was not dumb. People, he made attempts at knowledge. I always find that that's a funny thing for people. My favorite example of that is, when somebody said, oh yeah, just like Rasputin, he goes, yeah, and all those other Russian painters. He knows it's something, but it's not quite right. And it's the attempt at knowing something and sort of missing it. It's like when somebody goes for a rock, they're climbing, they slip, and they say they pretend. The comedy of ignorance never struck me as being exciting. So, I don't know, an amalgam of guys, I think. And as somebody said the other day, the Skanky 1988 was different than Skanky 1992. Because, I had sort of changed my orientation about the character.
Oh. You mean there wasn't a Myra? You mean it was...
No, initially Skanky was a single hot cross-dresser. Oh, you guys gonna write this down also?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. They're working on getting that tape together for us, folks. Let's hear how much you want this tape, huh? I'm never gonna have to do that.
Okay, so Skanky changed his orientation.
You were working all right.
He stopped being stealthy and became Skanky. Sorry?
Yeah. Hi. First 2 episodes you did, they curled Cohen's hair a lot, and that stopped suddenly.
You ever tried to curl her hair?
Well, they did successfully for 2 episodes.
You know, it's funny, the first episode, my hair was longer. Right? When I was hired by Jim, my hair was down to as long as yours. Very long. So I was surprised that I got that job actually, because I didn't look anything like. And then we decided we would cut it. I would cut it to be more business-like. And I think it was like
It was red, right?
Yes,
Reg, can you
talk about orientation.
I think Rich just wanted to not bother dealing with me so much, so he cut my hair off really short one day because, you know, it took him no time to deal with it.
They're going to take the mic, you can still ask your question, but you're going to have to show it, because we're setting up the camera.
Well, bring the mic
Do
down.
you know, this is interesting because I never get asked questions like, the hair in the second episode, what was the second episode about? Was it
Second episode is Stranger Than Fiction.
No,
and
it
I think
isn't.
that the curl...
No. Fate worse than death.
Oh, Fate worse than death. The curled hair lasted until Stranger Than Fiction.
So was it really, really curly that time?
It was
No,
like...
don't put it in front of the video camera, please.
Not in front of the camera.
There's a video camera right here.
Did you like that?
Yeah, just put it
I
up.
hated it myself.
It was very different, and I thought that it said something different about Cohen. But
That's
Cohen
true.
would spend the time curling
You
her
can step
hair.
over here to the microphone.
You know, I think
Shouting.
that is,
Go ahead.
that's probably why I didn't like it, is because it was too fussy for what I thought she was like. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I can never call it fate.
Yes,
Feet
go ahead.
worse than death. I always want to call it feet worse than bread.
I wanted to ask a question about the characters' names. And clearly there was some playing around with it. I mean, to name an Asian woman Cohen. I don't know where Skanky comes from. I don't know what kind of name that is.
Polish.
Is it just a straight Polish name?
Type of sausage.
We're Scandinavish. And my dad got it changed when he got, you know,
But
he went to the parts factory. I had it all figured out. And they never asked.
What I'm most curious about is the Christological references in the name of Bois, and how Lucius of Pompeii would become Lucien of Bois.
I have no idea. I get a script the week before and it says my name's Lucien. Lucien.
Don't you make something up?
Lucien
No, I
and
don't
Latin,
know.
like,
I was born to play the piano. It's a wrong gender anyway. It's Lacroix, isn't it?
Right, true.
Thank you.
The Cohen name is a kind of interesting point because they didn't want to call my character Cohen when I was young. You know, when I first read for the part, it had a name like Blackwell or something,
Bigelow.
I can't remember. And then when I got this first script, I remember how I felt reading it, and the script was delivered to me because they changed the name to Yamagita or something, like a Japanese name. And I really didn't want that to happen. I really didn't. So I called Jim and I asked him, I said, you know, do you think it'd be okay if we didn't use an Asian name?
Why did you...
Why didn't I want to do that?
I don't know.
Because I just wanted to do something different with it. You know, I think it was a more unusual and mysterious choice. And that's one thing I do regret is the story behind Cohen, and that there could have been some explanation of why am I Cohen?
Or just anything for that.
I always thought you were married.
I was married. I was married to Leonard Cohen in my hippie years in Montreal. No, really, that was So, and Jim really thought about it, actually, and he said, okay, we'll change the name, and then he came up with Cohen by himself, and
It was a great choice.
yeah, that was a great choice.
Yes, next question, please. Here comes the screen.
Good work.
It's a big screen. Here comes... Oh, sorry. I'm just not paying attention.
What was your take on the relationship with Nick?
Oh, they'll move down.
In other words,
Were we doing it? Is that what you're asking?
I missed the question, what? So we're doing it?
Once. Lacroix and Nick, their relationship was very asexual. There's no straight, there's no gay with vampires, there's just a physical enjoyment of people And I think that Lacroix's physical enjoyment of Nick was not a sexual thing, it was to do with power, it was to do with control, which psychologists tell us is what sex is about anyway.
There we go.
And he had his puppets that he wanted to play with. One was Jeanette, one was Nick. And that was it. But it was quite, there was a lot of sexual stuff there. I mean, you know, when that moment where I take the blood off his mouth and stuff, I wanted to lick it off his face.
No, it's licking the script.
And they wouldn't let me. I wanted to hold it. I would have liked to see Sci-Fi.
He described how he was going to do it.
They wouldn't allow that. So, it was a very complex relationship. But there was no gay relationship there. Sorry. I'm playing a different ballpark.
This is our final announcement. The Reverend music video is going to be shown at 3:30 in the video room. For those who aren't sure of the location, stand where registration is, and turn around to the hallway next to it. It's on the left.
I've seen A's for
That'll
night.
be 3:30 this
I have a
afternoon.
bunch of them.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them.
But I don't know if
We saw Jenny and Amy Hall had those videos.
It's quite a good
That
piece
was
of work.
great.
They put scenes from the show to music.
Cool.
It's neat.
We've seen them.
It's not the paper.
Hey, we're going to show the video now, guys. Are we ready to do that?
Yay!
Can we close the door there, please? Can we close the door over there? Close the door there. We're going to turn off the lights.
We had one last question here before we go.
Me?
No.
I'll take credit.
No, the guy that takes credit for it is one of our assistant editors. Yeah.
I'm going to sit here and point things out.
It turned blue.
At least he's not green.
Let's get the table moved. Come on. Hey, guys.
Oh, you can move the picture yourself. What?
Come on, you're a big boy.
Oh, it does it? I didn't know that. Ah. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Move them over here. Oh, they're not going to sit up there? Oh, they're just moving off this side. Okay. Well, they should have microphones so they can...
No.
They should have microphones so they can have commentary. That's what I was hoping they'd do.
Oh,
That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're asking. This is a decent copy. What? This is a decent copy. I hope it is too. But then they were showing it. I've seen one. Lindy Cook did a really good.
I have one of his master.
Yeah, great.
I was one of the first when the whole party was finished.
Yeah,
But I didn't.
really cool. I like it.
it's blue.
That's not mine.
Great.
Great too far.
Close the doors back there, please. Close the doors. The lights off.
No, I know it's not. For yourself.
Are they rewinding?
That would be funny if it went past first.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't queued up.
I don't know.
Maybe not. No, it's the right channel. What?
No, we gotta take them.
Hey, don't worry. Let's get pissed off. stage crew in high school?
College.
College, yeah. You are now? Who here was in the drama club? Same people? Not my high school. Drama club was over here, stage crew over there, and they just glowered at one another. And then you grow up and the same thing happens. You know, drama club, stage crew. And they're just as confident. Anyway, do we have any more questions about the blooper reel? Who hasn't seen it? 3 people haven't seen it. Oh, so this is why we're going out of our way to show it?
Yeah, but we haven't seen your reactions to it.
We want to hear your
John, yeah. Yes,
Can you
we
guys
haven't
have
seen your
microphones
reaction.
My
and
reaction is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a preview.
Let's,
Nigel, do you remember who's the gentleman that edited the book? I don't know. In the second season, there's the little blonde, sandy hair, fair hair, slide body, cute.
Female?
I know.
The guy's name is I don't know.
Labored over the Avid. I mean, you know, you can't get 2 keyboards with a sweater. Oh, good. Yeah.
I have a question. What did you think of all the gifts you sent?
At the end of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. Plumber's Creek.
Oh, what did you think of all those gifts?
It was great, and everyone really appreciated these boxes and stuff kept arriving with things, CDs.
We heard everyone was eating on chocolate.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really
It was great. We got rid of a lot of dead wood. And it was great for the crew because they really had no idea that this sort of reaction. And they was like, I made some golf balls out of it.
We ready to go, guys?
Ready to go?
No, it was for the
She's getting the tape. She's getting the second tape. Any more questions?
It's not a cooking problem. I'm sorry, guys.
we
Tape
heard a lot
from.
about the
Not bringing a blooper reel.
I go to other genre conventions, and the question always is, what do you think about being in a show where you know that there are a bunch
camera's
of
not
people now who are going to follow your
operating.
career the rest of your life that you have control?
It doesn't have a telescopic sight.
As long as they don't work for the IRS.
I'm sorry, but hold on, I'm right. It's cameras.
Do they?
Sorry, let's stop me if I'm in your way.
Changing the channel, you'll see, oh look, I saw that guy, he was up further, and someone will stop and watch your work.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for our careers. I think it's a great thing. As a matter of fact, you know, it's kind of the thing you want to have. You want people to be sort of, hey, you know, following it.
Yeah. And writing letters.
Yeah, why don't you hire them?
What is this?
Why don't you hire them?
What would the addresses be for
God, I'm telling you.
Just that we heard a lot of stories about the crew and the water pistol someone sent. Is that exaggerated?
They used to have Carl Irving. Carl Irving is
We heard a lot of questions about the crew and the water pistols.
Right.
It's
Carl Irving is a second AD. That tall, big.
Come on, camera.
And he and the other ADs would have water pistol battles video shooting. We'd walk from the studio into the office. You'd open the door and walking into Disney World.
Story about them using Ribena at one point for.
Sorry?
It's a story about them loading them with Ribena at one point for.
I have no idea about that. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of water everywhere.
We're throwing video.
Yeah, like they're not at all used to this.
They're probably really pissed at us, but
Thank you.
Some of us were. Some of them were.
For my next country, feeling like something more than feeling. Trying to forget these feelings of love. Feelings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Feelings.
the battery's low.
Feelings of love.
more requests. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, live at Sands Hotel.
What's the problem with this?
The snowflake comes along and struck Anne Marie, Canada's own. Oh, little baby here. Now, where are you from, little baby?
Really?
Slumberland, California. She stopped through the concert last night. She wasn't the only one.
It's a joke, you see, it's got the, sometimes it's out there. What? No.
I think my battery's dead, my camera. Terrific.
Hey, one sing in English, the other one sing in French, like, you know, day and night, we bonjour. Vous êtes only you live alone, and under the sun, sur le soleil. Whether it's in me or far, she said, no matter where you are. And this longing for you follows wherever I go. She's a morning traffic crew, inside itself, I know it.
Can't get it to...
Something in the way she moves. You know what? Actually, that happened. Frank Sinatra said, I'm going to do a little bit of a song by Mr. John Lennon and Paul McCartney. They sang George Harrison something. True story. It's on one of his albums.
Okay, fine. Any more questions? Yeah. Oh, hang on. And now, in stereo.
The character spoke French, and I heard you were speaking French. So did you learn Canadian French and speak French well?
There is no such thing.
Did you just hear him sing French? He can sing French.
Je parle français, oui. Mais je ne suis pas français canadien, c'est français parisien.
The tape is in the theater. We have one more question.
I heard about a lot of French playing on the show. What was playing French?
Funniest prank that was ever played on the show was
One of the directors.
one of the directors. You know, Nigel and I, we didn't need scripts, we didn't need directors. Now, let's be honest about this. We didn't even need cameras. Is the tape really here, guys? I tried to do it again. This is a test, and don't get testy. Okay, we're not starting this thing, so let everybody
Sits down.
and like in Peter Pan, say, I want the blooper reel, I want the blooper reel, I want the blooper reel, I want the blooper reel. Lights on, I want the blooper reel. Turn my lights off. Take the lights on, I want the blooper reel. Take the lights on, I want the blooper reel.